I'm very certain most of you didn't know that your upbringing can actually affect your future. Well, I'm here to give you that pep talk and that advice. You can call me Dr. Jojo. Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. So on today's episode, I'm going to be telling you 5 things you didn't know about your upbringing stroke background that can affect you in the future. Welcome back, guys. Alright, so the first one is growing up with love. It's very, very important to grow up with love in a family. Love is a bond that holds people together. Sometimes you just realize that, okay, you don't know someone, yeah? You don't know this person from Adam. But what brings you guys together? The first thing is the attraction. Probably the person's character, the person's attitude. But you hear when everyone says love is everything. Love, we need love. Love is this, bring love. Love is good. You need to train your children in the act of love. Let them love people from their little and tender age, because I know of so many people who have lost it due to the fact that they didn't have love when they were younger. My last relationship was crazy because my ex didn't have love. He didn't grow up with love, so it was weird, or it was complicated, or it was a struggle getting to know each other. Even after so many years, it was still a struggle trying to love yourself. You need to help your children grow up in love. You need to grow up in love. Everything you do, you need to do in love. Love fades away in time, yeah, but it just gives you this affection that people are there for you, that people have good intentions. Because when you don't grow up with love, everything you think is people are out to get you. People are looking for ways to get you. People are looking for ways to attack you. People are looking for ways to frustrate you. People are looking for ways to steal your shine. Whatever it is, you need to make sure that you children grow up in love, because it's crazy the world we live in now. There's so much hatred in the world that we don't even know what love means anymore. People tend to say, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, but do you really know the meaning of love? Love is an unquenchable thirst that you have towards someone that is good, okay? Love is not evil, love is not bad, love is selfless, love is selfish, love is good, okay? Anyone that does anything to you that is not a sign of love is not love. It is either obsession or hatred. It cannot be love. So your children tend to and need to grow up in love. You need love. Love is very essential. Love is needed, okay? There's so much hate in the world. Why don't you spread love to the world? Love is good, trust me. All right. So the next one is growing up with a single parent. Growing up with a single parent can affect you socially and mentally and emotionally. What I mean is, when you grow up with a single parent, you tend to love one more than the other one. What do I mean? Let's use single mothers for an example. When you grow up with single mothers, not all mothers will tell you that, oh, your father was nice, or your father was good, or your father left for a reason. No, they would obviously want to make your father look bad, so you would see men in a different light. That is very, very bad. If you're growing up, or if you're raising your children as a single parent, teach them how to love their fathers. Teach them how to love people around them, especially the opposite sex, or whoever that left in the opposite manner. You understand what I mean? Always teach your children how to love the opposite sex. Parental guidance is what I mean. If your husband has left due to some reasons, don't let your children in on what they didn't do at some age. You need to allow them grow in order to explain to them what really happened in the relationship, or what really happened in the marriage that made it fail. People always go with this motive that when you're being raised by a single mother, it makes the girl a prostitute, or it makes the girl sleep around with men. I don't condone such notion, although things like this happen, but it's not their fault, okay? These girls do everything possible in order to fend for their mothers, because they're grown now, and you cannot expect your mom to fend for you till you're 30, or at the age of 20, 21, 22, 23 max, you should be fending for your parents. So it's pretty hard growing up without a father and without so much income, because women don't get the privilege to get some certain types of jobs, again, due to masculine or whatever it is from the male gender, and which it's crazy because these things get in the way. And so I need people to cut out or debunk that kind of notion that girls raised by single parents are prostitutes, because it's crazy that people are saying that, and it's not a good look on people that are raised by single mothers. So single parents, we need to tell our children, especially our daughters, that their fathers are loving, their fathers are good, their fathers are nice people, and they're nice men out there. Because these people tend to feel like, oh, my father left my mom, so no man is really good, no man is nice. So it affects your future, it affects your thinking towards men, and it can hinder you from finding the right person or from finding your future husband, due to the fact that your parents or your mom has told you that your father is this, your father is that. Note, I'm not saying you shouldn't tell them what their fathers did, but let them grow to a certain age in order for you to explain things to them and they can see from the adult perspective. Okay, when you nurture them as children, telling them what happened or what went wrong, they would see it that way and they will come up with that kind of situation, and it's not going to be nice for them, because they will tend to ignore, they will tend to embarrass, they will tend to forsake all the men coming to see them, and we don't want that. We don't want them to have a notion about men or about women especially. It goes both ways, but basically for single mothers. Okay, so let's tend to make our husbands, our ex-husbands, or whatever it is, look good in the eyes of our children, but when they grow up to a certain level, you can explain to them what really happened in the marriage, and we hope that nobody's marriage gets destroyed in the process, or you don't have to go through what it feels like to be a single mother. Okay, all right, so the next one is being sexually abused as a child. Being sexually abused as a child can destroy a person's mental health, emotionally, everything that has to do with your mental state. I know people that have been abused sexually. I was abused sexually. It's crazy, I know, right? No one wants to say that. No one wants to feel like, so they were doing things to you when you were little. I have people that have come up to me and told me that they were abused sexually, and it hurts, because it's either they don't want to be in a relationship anymore, or it's either they are into women now or they're into men now, and it's really not their fault. We tend to judge people even without knowing them. So many people have been sexually harassed, sexually abused, either when they were young, or even adults to still get sexually abused. When your child gets sexually abused and the person tells you, you need to believe them, you need to listen to them. Most parents make that mistake every time by not listening to their children, and it's crazy. Your child complains to you and you don't listen to them. It affects their mental health, it affects them emotionally, it affects them physically. They tend to be aggressive, they tend to see everyone coming to get them. Everyone is coming to get them. No, they can't. I don't think they can even be in the same space as other people or act normal the way other children act, because they're scared of what people would say, or they're scared of how the opposite sex or how what gender molested them would act towards them. So when your children or when your child comes to you and tells you, Mom, I have been sexually harassed, you need to listen to them, sit them down, let them feel comfortable. Okay, you can't just be a parent and not listen to your children, or not hear them out, or not be there for them. It affects them so much, and it hurts so much. Okay, these things affect the childhood, and they tend to be aggressive. They tend to sleep around because they feel like, I have been sexually harassed, I don't mean anything anymore. You cannot even know why. Some people do these things for a reason. So just don't look at people and imagine, this person is doing this. What has happened? If I tell you people that have reached out to me saying that they were sexually harassed, you will not even believe it. I was sexually harassed when I was little. No one knows about that, but now you all know, and you know that it's crazy when children don't even confide in their parents because they're scared of what their parents will do. You need to give your children the benefit of the doubt. Let them feel loved. Let them feel at home. Let them feel welcome. Let them feel like they can speak to you. How would you feel if your child holds secret for you for over 20 years and still not tell you, and then rather walk up to a shrink and tell the shrink? No. These things affect people. These things affect how we see people. So please and please, don't judge people. Don't judge how they think. Don't judge what they do, because there's always a story behind everyone's struggle. Everyone is going through something. Everyone is doing something. There's always a reason behind that. Don't just think, I woke up in the morning and said, okay, I want to be a slut. Okay, I want to be a prostitute. Nah. Okay, no one's sin as greater. If you steal a pen, is as great as killing a person. So don't judge anybody and always spread love. There's so much hate in the world. Let's learn to spread love. So the next one is what you were allowed to watch. Growing up as a child, the only thing I got to watch was cartoons, Dexter, Courage the Cowardly Dog, Tom and Jerry, Powerpuff Girls. When you're a parent, or these things affect you when you don't know what you're doing. So sometimes when you watch programs when you're little, it teaches you to do some certain things. I know of a mother who doesn't allow her child watch action movies or watch criminal movies because it messes with your brain. It teaches you about violence, it teaches you about destruction, it teaches you about certain types of things that you're not supposed to know at that age. So allow your children, or restrict them rather, from watching some certain things that can mess with their brains. Children are very, very, very smart. You might not know, they might not be able to spell it to you, but they are smart and they keep things in their head. We keep things in our head often, especially when we're adults and we're toddlers. They tend to remember things, and they tend to remember stuff that are not great. I was watching a documentary last week, and I saw that 10% of the population in the world are children that are watching porn, which is not right. Like, how, first and foremost, phones, okay? We need to cut down on the phones. My children will not have phones till they're 15, 16. I'm not joking with you. They're not going to have phones until they're 15, 16. Okay, if you're going to get phones, or if you don't want to get phones for your children, buy them the toddler type of pads where they can play games, play educational games, arcade games, all those kind of things. And you need to restrict what they're watching, because what they're watching would shape them into what they think. If they watch action movies, or if they watch violent movies or gun movies, they will tend to behave that way, because that is what they see constantly on TV, and it's going to affect them and affect their upbringing. You notice that sometimes when you're playing with your children, they carry toy guns and they start to shoot around. They see these things from TVs, they see these things from what you allow them watch. So you should restrict your children from watching things like that. It affects them, it really messes with the brain, and it does some things to them that you might not understand. So sometimes when you realize that, why is your child doing what he's doing, or why is your daughter doing what she's doing, it's because of the things that she watches. When you allow your children view some certain content on social media, it affects how they think or how they see life. When you allow your children view let's say a slay queen, now you allow your children watch those kind of things, they tend to think that they need all those things. They don't need them. They want the life, but they don't need that life. So when you allow them watch things like that, they tend to think that, oh, I should have been there, or I should be there, and they go into desperate needs just to get what they want. So that is why sometimes at the age of 16, girls are already doing what people at the age of 28 should even start doing. So you need to restrict what your children view in terms of social media, TV, newspaper, magazines, all those kind of things. Shuffle, restrict if it's possible. Be strict on your children. Let them grow with light, love, and everything that is fair, because these things affect their childhood. These things affect their future. We don't know, but it does. It does. What you watch constantly is a reflection of who you want to be. If you watch creative programs every day because you want to be a creative, if you watch porn, it's because you're craving sex. If you watch action movies, because you want, probably for the fun of it, or because you want to see how a gun is being shot. So all these things affect your children. All these things affect your childhood. I know someone who is addicted to masturbation because he watches porn every single day. These things affect your future. So you need to restrict your children. It would hurt them, but you're saving them, okay? And don't forget to spare the rod and spoil the child. Beat them if it's necessary. I don't know why you all debunk that thing. I'm going to whoop your dirty ass. I don't care, but I'm going to make sure I whoop it to the last. I would beat you up. I'm going to beat you. You cannot be useless in my house. No, you can't watch illicit things in my house. I won't let that happen. Tell your children, teach them who is boss. You are the boss of your family. You are the owner of your house, okay? Treat them as such. Don't let your children get in the way of their own future. You are the parents. You are supposed to teach them right from wrong, okay? You get to decide what they see, and what they see is what they're going to grow up to. If they keep watching it constantly, they're going to shape into that form. So it's either good or bad. So the next one is the area in which they grew up. The area is a very complicated thing. I know not all of us are opportune to grow up in places like the Banana Island, or places like GRA, or places like Abuja, or places like, estates. Most of us grew up in places like Ajegunle, places like on the bridge, and it's nobody's fault, but these things affect your childhood. This thing affects your future. It affects your life. I've gone to the market before, and I've seen people who grew up under the bridge and they act differently. It messes with their future. They tend to collect money from people who are already hawking on the streets. They tend to frustrate, they tend to vandalize, they tend to destroy, and they tend to harass people, not because they are wicked, or because they've seen the in total, they've seen how life is out on the streets, and it's crazy. Okay, growing up on the street is crazy. If you grew up on the street and you're watching this video and you're sane, I'm thankful for you. I'm happy for you. It's nobody's fault. This particular point is nobody's fault, okay? It depends on how you grew up, or where you grew up, or who gave birth to you. Some people will give birth and they will leave their children to do whatever they want because there was no money. This boils down to family planning. You need to plan your family. If you don't have enough money, if you cannot sustain yourself, there's no point bringing other people extra baggage to the world, because you're doing the world more harm than good. You need and you should put your children, unborn children, into consideration. You don't just go around opening your legs. You don't just go around sleeping with people. You need to put these people into consideration. I feel like this topic needs to be stretched, because we just do things, we just do stuff. We don't even consider people's feelings. We don't even consider what people would say. Nobody needs to know about what people say. Nobody cares about what people's going to say. Think about yourself. Can you take care of the child? Can you sustain yourself? Can you take care of yourself before you bring another human into this world? It's like you don't know what a human is. It's a whole being, a whole person. It's crazy because we just do things. If it's a mistake, it's understandable. When it is being done out of ignorance, it is not good. If you can't take care of yourself, don't bring any sort of child, any sort of human, any sort of being into this world, because it messes with your brain. So please understand where you're coming from. Make sure you can take care of yourself so that your children don't end up on the street, because I have seen the streets. I have been to the market before and I have seen the streets. I have seen children on the streets. I have seen parents leave their children to be who they want to be on the streets. And the street is not a good place. If the world was a better place, being on the street would not be a problem. But these people, especially the girls, they get raped, they get harassed, they get accused, they get beaten up, they don't bath, they don't sleep. And these people have menstrual periods. They have a life, but they cannot even take care of themselves because of the fact that someone out there gave birth to them and vanished. So please, if you can't take care of yourself, don't bring an extra human into the world, okay? It's hard, but you don't need it. You don't. So many people have everything in this world, but they don't have children. Please, there's no need to bring extra baggage into this world. So please, when you can't take care of yourself, don't do what I want to do. I want to do that, and I think that people need to understand that children are a blessing from God. So don't misuse that blessing. Don't disrespect that blessing. Don't abuse that blessing. Okay? Where you grow up is it would either make or break you. And I have seen it break and I have seen it make people. Okay? So guys, it's long, yeah, but I've come to the end of this episode, and I hope you guys understand that sometimes our backgrounds really shape us. Not sometimes, most times our background and our upbringing and the things we do and don't do, say and don't say, act and don't act shape us. If this topic was very interesting and insightful, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and if you really liked it, you can as well share. And if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you want to see more of my videos, you can check the link up here and then watch, and you can check my playlist as well, my special place, and you can watch everything that I have been posting from back to back. Thank you guys for watching my video. Till I come your way next week, don't forget to be a boss ass bitch. And for my guys, I see you working your ass out, and I see you trying to make ends meet. I got you, God's got you. Till I come your way next week,